And welcome back to United by Football. I'm Abs.
I'm Thomas, and today we are in a different location, a special location for two very special people. Abs, kick us off.
Well, where I won it yesterday. We're at the beautiful studios here, and it's an Arsenal versus Chelsea debate this week. And I've brought none other than probably the biggest Arsenal fan here in Sydney. How are you, Nick?
That's it. Not only the biggest by maybe size on social media, but physical size as well. But yeah, no, I'm a true gunner. Cut me open, I bleed red.
You're standing at about 6'4".
Yeah, that's with Air Forces. 6'3" without Air Forces.
I swear I saw 6'7" recently on TikTok.
Nah, that's different. That James Madison's like 6'7". I'm like 6'4".
All right.
That makes me about 7'3". So
Well, speaking of physical size, Stav, maybe you're lacking in that department. So I've definitely brought the biggest Chelsea fan, the tallest, definitely. Olan, how are you, brother?
Good, man. Thanks for having me, man.
Anytime, bro.
It's nice to get back on the Chelsea bandwagon. I was off it last year. We're back on it this year.
why were you off it last year?
Yeah,
We'll move on.
We'll talk about that one later.
Well, let's kick it off. We'll say thanks firstly to the Corner Post.
Absolutely.
And to Lightweight Athletic. Don't forget to head out to Lightweight Athletic. Use UBF15 for 15% off.
Of all your purchases. Speaking of Lightweight Athletic Club, I think it's only right that we kick it off with our player of the week. So, boys, myself and Abs had a discussion off camera, and we thought there was only one candidate. Stav, Abs, close your ears. It's Dominic Solanke. Big clap to Dom. Dominic Solanke, I think, rightfully so, deserves our Lightweight Athletic Player of the Week.
Whether I like it or not, he scored a couple goals. My team couldn't score a single goal. If Kai Havertz scored one goal, dear Lord, he was going to be the Lightweight Athletic Club.
Keyword if.
If we couldn't score. But we'll move on from that. Let's get into the game. Okay. I think let's get into 1-0 Newcastle. Stav, we watched that at Cheese, unfortunately. Not unfortunately, you were there. You know, I loved your presence, but unfortunately that we had to lose there. But what do you think of the game?
Look, I think Arsenal are going through that patch at the moment where they're not producing quality to high tier performances, but the squad has a lot of holes in it.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, for me, I think the biggest issue there was that massive gap between the front line and the back line. There's only one man that fills that hole, and that's Martin Odegaard. Whether he's the best number 10 in the league, that's a question up for debate. And I think not only is our club captain as well.
Number 10.
It's a big call. It's a big call.
Hold on, name names.
Palmer's.
Come on, man. It's number 20, bro.
Are you serious? Cole Palmer's right in that pocket.
I agree.
We're gonna leave that debate's coming. Don't you worry. That debate's coming.
Listen, for me though, Stav, I just think your first 15 wasn't good at all. Obviously, Isak struck early doors, 12th minute. And obviously, I was walking in, someone was saying, with an Arsenal shirt on, but that's for different reasons. But no, Stav, for me, I just think he didn't start well. I'll be honest. And Gordon put in a delicious ball. Isak hard to miss.
Yeah. But look, I think whether you go first 15 minutes, yeah, okay, but it was 1-0. But like at the end of the day, like there's still do the math, 75 minutes left in that game that we should be producing more with the talent we have in that squad. I do think the main issue is that Martin Odegaard missed. We're playing Trossard in that 10 role where he tries to grab the ball, he takes too many touches or he takes two less touches. He makes the wrong decision in the wrong areas. Martin Odegaard, I think some people say, he takes too many touches, he slows it down. The guy's got class. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to dictate tempo. He's one of the best players in his position in the world. He knows what he's doing. Yeah. But at the end of the day, Arsenal should have a squad where you lose a Martin Odegaard and we still should be beating Newcastle home or away.
Now, I'll say this. There's kind of, the heat maps when you see them after the game. Our passing direction, and I saw it after the Newcastle game, quite literally goes either left or right without Martin Odegaard. Yep. And that's kind of being our biggest problem because you can't start off a game against a fresh 11 men and hope to beat their fullbacks from the get-go. That's kind of the biggest problem we've got at the moment is that, like you said, Trossard likes to float out wide. And even when he comes into the box, he goes too far forward to the point where I feel like we've left the hole there. So what happens? Mikel Merino pushes up or Declan Rice ends up pushing up and we're leaving that gap. I don't think I've seen Saliba or Gabriel that under pressure ever.
Yeah.
Ever. Yeah. Honestly. And it's kind of hurting us to the point where I think he needs to start Ethan Manieri.
Yeah. Look, and I think Odegaard's coming back in a week or two, next two games.
Is that confirmed?
I think they could have came back last Saturday technically, but
you don't want to risk him.
Yeah, because I'd be surprised if he starts against Chelsea, but I think the way we're going, I wouldn't be surprised if Arteta just throws him in the deep end.
I think you need him, bro.
Yeah,
because obviously you guys are in fourth now.
Are we still on the Arteta train or we jumped off it?
If you think Mikel Arteta out, you dead set are brain dead. Honestly, brain dead.
You know how Arsenal fan TV is talking.
I'm not the delusional one.
You know what I'm saying?
And if you use the Arsenal fan TV comments as Bible,
then
you've got mad
knowledge. Your football knowledge is
honest to God, your football knowledge is on the ground. Because
shout out Robbie. It's my boy. That's my boy.
Robbie's a good man.
Robbie's my boy.
Did we see his drill rap thing? That was amazing.
Oh yeah.
Don't
London.
support Chelsea or West Ham. Don't
Yeah,
support
yeah,
Liverpool or Everton.
Yeah.
I'll never forget the Thomas Partey announcement where Big Robbie's doing the.
Oh, that was amazing.
You wanna party hard. Party hard.
That was a great signing, bro.
I'll leave it on this. I agree with you, Stav. I think when it comes to Arteta, if you're saying Arteta out, you genuinely don't like your club because
Because he's built something, right?
he's built something. Yeah, look, we haven't won many trophies. We've won an FA Cup, a few community shields. We'll take it. But from where we were in the gutters to where we are now, and I think you'll agree with me on this, we can forever be grateful for him
100%.
because we were at a point where we were being laughed at by like Fulham
Yeah, I
and
remember.
Southampton and
times.
Brighton and losing to teams like Everton just out of nowhere. It's just now we haven't lost to a top 6 team in over 2 years.
Yeah. And you're talking about a manager where I think a lot of people would say Arsenal, they're pretty Arsenal, but they got no backbone. They're not strong when they need to be strong. But now we're scoring the most goals of set pieces. We arguably have the
physical
two
side.
best centre backs in the whole Premier League.
Yeah.
And then also take into consideration, you get managers like Eric Ten Hag coming in, spending 50 million on Delic, he's not performing. 80 million on Anthony, who's his boy, he's not performing. When Arteta signs a player, he makes sure they're good. We lost Mustafi, we lost Rob Holding. He brings in the players he wants because he knows he's an elite level manager.
And there's a level of trust within Arsenal fans and their coach that I think you won't find anywhere else in the Premier League. He brings a player in, even with Sterling. All right, people questioned it at first, but you get him on the pitch.
I think Sterling might be
It's a loan move.
Listen,
It's a loan move.
move.
I think Sterling might be finished, and I'm a Sterling fan.
All right, well, when we're paying 100k a week for him and you're still paying 250k a week for him, who's won the
So
deal there?
you're taking him off our hands. It's actually fine.
Yeah, but to be fair, if
Paying
you've,
half his wages, we'll have it. He don't fit into our system, so you boys take him.
have you actually watched him play this season though?
I
Arsenal?
watched him a couple games.
I don't think he's been shit. I don't think he's been that
Sterling's
bad.
just not a winger that Arsenal have had. Arsenal wingers are Saka, they're cut in, bang, direct. Martinelli, direct. Trossard, direct. Sterling's very, give me the ball, let me touch.
I've got a
Or he's
But
final in that
I don't
6-yard
even
box
think
for a
that fits
tap
in
in.
with the style of play of Arsenal.
Yeah,
though,
no.
really.
I've got a better way to put it. He's got the best of Martinelli and the worst of Saka. If that makes sense.
If you
We're
see
saying Arteta has.
If that makes sense.
Nah, he's technically better than Martinelli, I think.
Who,
On the ball.
Sterling?
Yeah,
Sterling.
he's
Yeah,
technically better than Martinelli.
Martinelli had a poor game on the weekend, bro. It was literally going to the corner flag, hold it with one hand, pretend it's Timmy Cahill, and you get double teamed by Livramento and the brother next to him.
Yeah, look, but that's kind of been the problem with Martinelli for a while now, is that when the minute you put 2 on him, he struggles. His best football comes when he's 1-on-1.
Okay, but just let me pose a question
in
to you.
space.
You got Martinelli on that side,
Yeah.
and then you got Declan Rice missing a golden chance in the 92nd minute.
I don't know.
Where are these goals?
No,
gonna come from?
I think that's getting looked in a bit too much. I think he sees the ball late.
But
I
he
think
wasn't. But he wasn't goal side, Stav. He was there and he ducked. Oh my
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
he's,
I know
he's
what
seen
you're
it late, and I don't know.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I think because you slow it down, you start looking for stuff like, oh, he's got to like nail it. Like I would love to bash her and go, bro, he's got to be scoring there. Like, look, I'm not saying what he's done is the right thing, but I think people are going like, how is he like giving it like? That's just like everyone knows when you play football, you see the ball late, whether it's in the middle of the park,
yeah.
at the back, or you're in there 60.
Do you think that he should have at least troubled the goalkeeper?
I think he should have got it on target. But at the end, I think, like I said, people are looking at it like, how is you not like, it's just, he's seen it late, whatever, move on. Like, if we're relying on that to get a draw against Newcastle, we got
That I agree.
problems.
Yeah, no,
Bigger
that I
problems.
agree.
Should have played more.
And it comes back to, I think, the midfield as well, bro. I think people are looking a bit too far into it. Martinelli needs support. And it goes back to the left back as well. Calafiore being out is troubling because then we're playing Timber in a place where we don't want to play him. And then you end up with a back line that you're really not trusting. He brought on Zinchenko in the 75th minute. What does Zinchenko do? Gave away the ball a few times.
Yeah, look, I think like we also don't want to be Arsenal fans who are deflecting it on stupid excuses. Like I think he's put Mikel Merino in there, and I think I don't think he's been up to scratch since coming in. If I'm being honest, like I don't usually like bashing my own players, but I think he could be a little bit flaky at the moment. Too slow on the ball, touches are a bit loose, but
He could take some time to settle.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to bash on him, but like I don't want to deflect and go. It's just, you know what I mean?
But all I'm saying as well, with the way we want to play, we're losing key players that we don't really have substitutions for. Like you lose Calafiore, all right, who are you going to play at left back?
Yeah,
During Timber.
All right, Timber started. White didn't start. White hasn't been necessarily fit. Our pieces to the puzzle are kind of falling apart because of these injuries. And it's unlucky because I think aside from maybe this Newcastle game, there hasn't been a game if things didn't really go away, let's say red cards or injuries.
Didn't you guys lose to Bournemouth?
Yeah, but
They're
that's a red card.
because
bro.
like at the end of the day, we can point fingers about
Wait, what
injuries,
the hell?
injuries
I
this,
was like
injuries
2
that. But
I was like 2 games ago.
No, but some of the other big clubs over the years, like Liverpool, have lost Van Dijk. You know, so.
I'll get to you in a sec. I'll get to you
No,
in a
I
sec.
don't know.
I'll get to you in a
I
sec.
hate blaming injuries as well. We should be at a level where we're beating Newcastle, whether
Thank God we
we got
brought
Timber
Olan
or the Calafiori there. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, I agree with you there. But when you've played 10 games and you've had 3 red cards there and you've had multiple injuries and then you go to Manchester City and still get a draw with 10 men on that at that point, you can turn around and say that a team like ours, if these circumstances didn't happen, probably wouldn't be 7 points behind Liverpool. That's all I'm trying to say. Whereas there's teams that are winning games that shouldn't be winning games and teams that are losing games by a goal or 2 when they should be losing by 4 or 5. We're the unlucky team that ends up losing by a goal just because of certain circumstances. And yes, you can't.
But that's the difference between winning the league and
correct.
And look, I know you guys
6th
haven't,
or 4th.
and you guys haven't been ahead of us for a while. So
And moving
enjoy
on
it
to
while
that,
you can.
Listen, moving on to that. To the blue side, Chelsea versus United. Olan, for me, man, that was one of our worst games that we played
Yeah,
this year.
definitely one of our worst games. that
We just had
played.
no cohesion, especially in the midfield. Palmer again got man marked really, really well.
Yeah, they're doubling up on him. You know, it does feel like I guess the last season or 2 that we just look to Palmer. Like if stuff's going wrong, we're just like give it to Palmer and like
Correct.
you know when you have a really good season and you perform at the level that he's been performing at, not that you start to get figured out, but it starts to get extremely hard for you, and that's when the other players need to take the load off. You know what I mean?
They should be taking load off. I think Caicedo had a really, really good game.
Yeah,
Besides that.
I think one of the better games that he's played, and even this season, Caicedo has been sick for me.
Absolutely.
I went to go last year when I saw him play against Luton, obviously, Luton boy, and I watched him play in the midfield. And I was like, he just wasn't clicking. Like he didn't feel like he was comfortable where he was. Now this season, his second season, he looks like a completely different player.
For me, he's outperforming Enzo by a million miles. Boys, to my left, I want to pose you the question. Lisandro Martinez, was it a foul? The butcher, did he butcher? Was it a red
It's
card?
not a red card. It's not a red card. No, it's not a red card because I think I look at the one Bruno Fernandes against Spurs a few weeks ago, and I look at that, and that wasn't a red card. Look, stop sending players off for stupid reasons. I guess, bro. We watched the A-League where you see people get sent off for like the softest stuff. But look at Lisandro Martinez, whether it's a red card or him ending someone's career, it's coming soon.
I go.
It's coming soon.
Yeah.
I'm
One
telling
of
you.
the 2.
I think you're ending a career before he's getting
Just
sent
one
off.
of the two.
Hey, put it this
He's an
way.
angry guy, man.
They don't call him the butcher for no reason.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
But also on Moses Caicedo, I saw someone this morning saying he reckons Moses Caicedo is better than Declan Rice. With Chelsea
you
fans,
mad?
are we saying that with chest? Because I saw that and I thought that was ridiculous.
I don't think that's a ridiculous statement.
Oh,
It's
bro,
gotta be.
cut out of
It's-
here, man.
It's,
I don't
it's
think that's
insane.
a ridiculous statement.
Declan Rice, when
Okay.
I tell you about winning ball, can cover 2 players in midfield.
This year, though,
that
the
is-
comparison? Or just...
Oh,
It's
bro,
like-
he's been good this year.
No, I'm
Forget
saying-
the result. He's been good this
Declan
year.
Rice is a monster. I think even England during the Euros, like, oh, bro, he
but
messed up
I-
with one
I
pass.
think-
He's putting off 100 a game. Like he's
I'm
gonna.
a huge Declan Rice fan, right? But I think it's the English price tag. I think he's also been hyped up. He's good, right? But it's like when you break down parts in his game, he is lacking a lot in his
But
game.
like, what's he lack? What's he lack? His
So for
composure
me-
on the ball
so
with the
for me-
world class midfielders.
for
There is
me-
nothing that Declan Rice does that I personally think that Moises can do anymore.
I think he can do more in the attacking
Thank
third.
you very much. That's what I was about to say.
Well,
Then
Declan
with
Rice has
Declan-
been
then
basically
Declan Rice-
playing in the 10 for the last 3 weeks.
Can't score a header from 4 yards.
He had double-digit
I saw
goals.
it
and
late.
assists
Well, I know
last
if you
year.
want to go there.
Bro, go look at his attacking stats from last year. He went double digits in goals, and I'm pretty sure got double digits in assists. So when you tell me attacking, he's there up front. What has Moises Caicedo done in his career that I haven't seen Declan Rice do?
Look,
I don't even know what the stat was.
If
But
Mo-
if you look at the amount of entry passes that Declan Rice plays compared to Caicedo, I feel like Caicedo plays way more entry passes forward.
It
The
probably
reason why
would.
you guys are also saying about Odegaard is because even when Rice picks up the ball, he's scared to play that ball into the 10 or the 9 because he's afraid like he might not make
I
it.
look at it and go, look, Moses Caicedo probably bringing the ball forwards better and giving a splitting
On the
pass
ball,
forward probably is better than Declan Rice. But he's number 6. I want my number 6 winning ball, covering
I hear that
position
too.
and being harsh. And if it takes Declan Rice to go, hey, Odegaard, have the ball, by all means do it. I don't want to rely on my number 6 to put in game-splitting passes. If we wanted that, Jorginho would be out there doing
I think
that
for us
stuff.
as well.
I hear that. No, that's a good point.
I think for us as well, Rice, 100% better 6. Caissado's a better 8 for me. In our system, it's two different
box to
systems.
box.
Done.
Can I say though,
100%.
if you play both of them in the 8, you're getting 2 different types of 8s. We
Of
saw
course,
it last
yeah.
year.
Yeah.
When Rice played in the
He's
8,
doing
he became basically what Moreno's been doing is running into the box and basically being that extra attacking player.
But Rice is best as a 6. And
Completely
I
agree.
completely
agree.
Yeah.
Now to the other team on that equation, Man United. They got the bounce. Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Yeah, what do you think of that?
Man, I don't know. I think for me,
United's just cursed, man. The job is cursed.
Yeah,
bro.
it is.
Anyone that gets in that, just count your days because they'll be counting down.
No
soon.
one's big enough
No,
for that
like his
role.
look at the last 5 years, 6 years. Like it's just this rotation of players, and it's like even every single player that they buy, their career dies there, bro.
Yeah,
It's a graveyard, bro.
The saddest thing is Eric Ten Hag signed half of Ajax, and now the next manager is going to be inheriting a bunch of Ajax bums.
It's literally what
I
happens
can't
with every
believe it.
single manager. Every single manager comes in is like almost getting their vision there, and by the time they've not almost got it, but they might be halfway through the vision, and then they get sacked, and then the next manager inherits these players that he doesn't even like.
Yeah, and it takes him 3 years to clear him out.
Yeah.
And I've said it from the start. I think when it comes to Manchester United, the way it's been over the last 7, 8, maybe probably 10 years since Ferguson left, you had a brother there that ran the club from
the
top to bottom.
Yeah.
You haven't brought in anyone since then that's been able to do that. And what happens is that, the top levels, the Glazers, all they want is money. If it's affecting their pocket, they'll involve themselves. If they're selling jerseys and they're selling out tickets and they're selling stadiums, they don't care. They genuinely don't care. Which trickles down to what? They don't know enough about the next person's job. And that happens to the next one. And you go from there, you lose trust and the connection. You look at us. You got Arteta, you got Edu. They're the two connections between the two sides, the back room and the lineup and the team. They work together in tandem alongside the Cronkies. And they've been more involved since they've taken over the club completely. United don't have that.
They don't have that, man. It's tough to see because I know you just use like now you think of United, you almost forget about like the Fergie days of like Ferdinand and Neville and them boys. It almost doesn't feel like it has that sort of like oomph or name. Like a United City, you don't go, oh, we're getting. You just go, oh, well, you expect City to win. United might put in a performance, but.
And it's nuts. You look at United, who lost Fergie after that massive era. Moyes comes in, they haven't been the same since. Jurgen Klopp leaves Liverpool after an insane era. Arne Slot comes in, you think, you know what, take him a few years to adjust. Boom. Top of the table, killing it. I'm shocked.
Well, they brought in someone who's got a very similar style.
Yes,
to
he
Klopp.
almost reminds me of
100%.
Klopp. In like, I don't know, like just certain ways he reminds me of Klopp a little
It's
bit.
Klopp with a little bit of pep. That's what it is. Like, just like
Just a little sprinkle.
He's
Just
not,
because
he's
he's
not
bold.
a believer.
It's not pep. Because it's bold.
Midfielders that can actually play some ball. I think a lot of the Klopp era was, let's get 3 midfielders, Wijnaldum, Henderson, that are going to work for us and win ball
Workhorses.
and get it to your Firmino that's going to cause Mane and Salah into a game. When now Gravenberch is great on the ball.
He's a player this year.
Obviously he's not starting as much, but still getting involved. Even Alexi McAllister is great on the ball and he's
McAllister's
doing
balling
wonders
out.
from a midfield.
And if you look at the way they've set up as well, whereas under Klopp it was kind of like Firmino would be
Yeah,
the attacking midfielder
yeah,
playing as a
exactly.
false 9. Whereas now he's kind of played 2 8s and a 10
Yeah.
and have Nunes basically just stand on the edge of the line and just go.
Yeah.
Nunes has been balling out as well, man. We've got to put some respect
Still
on his
hate him.
name.
He just causes trouble. He's just so frantic that I don't think the defenders know what to do with him.
Master of chaos.
Even on the weekend, you thought he scored for a second.
Yeah,
he still
bro.
didn't. He still didn't.
Now,
You gotta-
I want to move on to one question.
Okay.
Enzo Maresca. What's been so different about him that you think we didn't get under Mauricio Pochettino?
Should I take this one, Olan? Or?
You can jump in first.
Okay.
Oh, come on.
With Enzo, I think he obviously, I think Pochettino was obviously a youth player.
Yeah.
Loved his youth and knew how to develop him.
Yeah.
I think Enzo, being at Leicester before, he knew what he wanted.
Yeah.
He had a formation, he had a system, and he had a style of play.
Yeah.
And with that style of play, I think he worked with Palmer before under Pep. So he's revolutionized that team around Palmer, and he's bringing in the attackers. When you have a bench sitting there with Felix in Cuckoo to come off the bench,
Yeah. The bench is strong, man.
it's unbelievable.
So
and then you've
strong.
got them.
Neto, the players that are interchangeable. Like I think there was one interview where he was talking about. I think they was talking about like, because I was at Chelsea, we've got all these players. Like, how do you know who's going to be in your system? And he literally like listed 2 players for every position, and he was like, no one else is in the team. And I was just like,
Banish Sterling.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just like from that, I was like, that's his aura. He knows exactly. There's 2 interchangeable players. If this player's injured, this guy's going, and he's just as good as him anyway.
Yeah.
I don't like that though.
What, the 2 players for each position?
I think no.
Or the
I like
banishing?
that. I think it's the vanishing. I don't like the public shame. It's
Oh,
public
no,
shame.
Nah, but you know what?
I don't like it
In
either.
all fairness, Mikel Arteta did that as well. Aubameyang, one,
Yeah.
two, three mistakes, gone.
but
Made it public. When Doozy had that incident where he kicked him out of the... You got to do
It
that.
wasn't that public though.
No, it was.
wasn't.
It
No,
was. Very.
Aubameyang was
When
a bit
Doozy was very
public.
public, Aubameyang was... You got to do it, Abs. And that's how you
Yeah.
stick...
Especially when you first come into
The
the
one
club.
thing I thought Ten Hag, I thought he was going to be the answer because he came into United and he made ballsy decisions. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer let all these egos like Pogba, Bruno, and Ronaldo
That's what
eat
we
him
did.
alive.
correct.
Eat him alive. The only thing is Ten Hag just didn't have a footballing brain to compete at that level. Where Arteta makes these big decisions, you lose Aubameyang, being our top goal scorer for the last 3 years.
Yeah,
Jeez.
everyone's
Is
thinking, what
Arteta
the
making
hell?
the right decision?
Yeah.
Bang, kicks into gear. Guendouzi was our best young midfielder coming through. Everyone's like, why the hell is he keeping Xhaka, but getting rid of Guendouzi? Because Xhaka then goes on a renaissance. Like, you got to make these decisions. And Enzo Maresca reminds me so much of Arteta. He's playing a similar system. He's got players that are playing good football and he's trusting these young players. Wingers like Neto remind me of Martinelli, you know? And like, I would love to hate Chelsea, but I'm looking at Maresca and I
team
go,
is so exciting.
he's a manager where I think they can do damage with.
I said before the season started they'll finish top 4.
Yeah.
But my thing is, and I get what you're saying, but I don't think Mikel was ever that public that quickly.
No.
Mikel dealt
Oh
with
no,
it.
yeah, no way.
Mikel
yeah,
dealt
yeah.
with it before behind the scenes. Even with the Aubameyang one, he dealt with it behind the scenes. Aubameyang made it more public than Mikel did, going to Barcelona, doing what he needed to do. Even with Guendouzi, I'm pretty sure at the time took it to social media. Mikel will never go out of his way.
We're also forgetting Ozil as well.
Yeah, but Ozil had
I'm not saying they're the wrong decisions.
No,
You know what I'm trying to say?
But I don't like the whole. I get it. It's a ballsy move. It kind of you're swinging.
I-
Pardon
I-
my French.
I
You're
don't
swinging your
ag-
dick around a bit.
Yeah,
but
I don't agree with it, but I also I don't feel sorry for Sterling. I don't care because bro, they're all still on like fucking.
Bro, it's not like
300,000
Lukaku's
players.
still in
Do you
the
know what I mean?
books,
He's still gonna find a team.
Yeah.
He's still gonna play, and if he's anyway, if he's got a chip on his shoulder, the next club he goes to, he's gonna show this is the reason why he shouldn't let me
Absolutely.
go. Like balling out. Who's balling out at Fulham now? Centre mid.
Smith Rowe.
Smith Rowe balling out, you know?
Good, yeah.
People are like, oh, should we have let him go or not? Like, that's what Sterling should be doing now at Arsenal, like balling out to the point where we go, fuck, man, we got to bring him back. Or we
Same as
should-
Palmer from City.
Yeah,
Exact
you know what I
same.
mean? Like, you play, as a footballer, you've been in that position where you're like, all right, Gaffer doesn't believe in me, all right, I'm going to go, I got a chip on my shoulder now.
You play for the contract.
Yeah.
You have to.
to a degree, and I agree with you about the Mikel Enzo thing. You've got a lot of youngsters, and I've said it for a while. Your average age last year was about 22, 23. You had 29-year-old Thiago Silva, and then everyone else was 26 and under.
Yeah, babies.
You need that tough love.
Yeah, you have to.
I might not agree with
It's a
the
father
whole-
figure.
I might not agree with the whole outing thing, but I think with that many youngsters, you need tough love.
And I also don't think Sterling was like that kind of father figure in Chelsea.
I don't think so.
You know, you look at us last year, how many times the compilation of clips of him where he could have like been a big brother or squared it to someone or made a
Or
decision.
tracking back even.
Tracking back. He was like, you could tell it was just all about him. You know what I mean?
completely.
Even at City, like Liverpool, you could probably say even all the way back there. He's always tried to be the star boy, and he hasn't necessarily gotten to that point in his career. So he's still trying to chase it.
Well, at
Love him for England though.
And I think Chelsea's still got at least three wingers better than Sterling. Anyway,
easily, bro.
so
Easily.
they
For
don't
me,
need him.
just before we move on, I think Neto over Martinelli.
Yeah, I was saying it to you. I think Pedro Neto
Yeah,
is a
completely.
steal.
He's cold, man. He's so good. He's so good, man.
Now, for me, the most exciting segment of today: Cole Palmer versus Bukayo Saka.
Just bear with us a second.
Yeah, of course, he's going to go there. Amazing. There we go. Amazing.
Star boy,
What's
baby.
going on here?
Yeah, bro. Leave that there,
What
mate.
idea is this? To bring a picture of Saka in
Hey,
the
hold on,
England
hold on, I'll
jersey.
tell you what, bro. I actually drove past.
Is that in your house somewhere? Or
No. Listen to this. I drove past his house.
Actually, hold
his
on.
window was actually open. I saw that him and Nick were getting a bit frisky last night. Cuddled into a bit close.
What the fuck are you talking about, bro? What podcast are you on, mate?
What I saw, that's all. Listen, for me, I'm quickly going to give you an overall rundown. Now, bear in mind that Saka's obviously been playing a lot longer than Palmer at Chelsea. Appearances, 179 to Saka, 61 to Palmer. Goals, 50. Saka obviously hit it last week. Palmer, 29. Assists, 42 to Saka, 17. Clean sheets, I don't know why that's in there for both attackers, but we'll move on. Yellow cards, I don't really care about disciplinary action. So for me, boys, just quickly, in an England shirt, who gives more?
Saka.
Saka's done more.
Yeah.
In an England
Okay.
shirt.
Okay. Who has a better potential in an England shirt to deliver?
I
Bear in mind
reckon in an England shirt, it's probably Palmer.
I would say Palmer would have
has more
better
potential.
potential, just because of his role in a team, in
Yeah.
a
Thank you very
national
much.
side.
He's gonna
because of
be
his
the
role in the
person-
side.
Can I raise a point?
Yeah.
What are
agree.
you laughing at? What are you laughing at?
Nick Stav has literally just said
No.
it. Just agree.
It's potential. It's potential.
who's-
It's not.
Who's got less competition for their position? Who's less likely to be dropped? Saka.
Saka, if you
Are
said
you
to
saying
me
for England or
he's
you
going to be
saying for-
guaranteed in that
for England?
lineup,
For England.
Saka,
for England and less.
look,
Saka's starting every
because you look at
5
Palmer,
years.
who's his competition for number 10? Probably if they do run a number 10, which I think the next manager should, it's Phil Foden. Phil Foden, at the end of the day, I can't see a way where Palmer gets into this England side naturally. I can't see a way.
No, you're right. No, you're right.
Because
Well,
it's
look
going
at
to
the
take a
look at the
ballsy
last-
decision to
look at
drop
the last,
Foden, and then
competition.
if they do start Palmer,
we have to-
they're going to have to shift Foden to
What's
the left
Foden done in
wing.
English show, but
I don't.
I
honestly,
agree with you,
I
but the
hate
next
Foden
manager
in
that
the
comes in
English
is
side.
going
I
the
hate
next
Foden.
manager that's going to come in is going to go, you know what, I'm going to do some balls and I'm going to put Palmer at 10. Are they going to have the balls to drop Foden, who at the end of the day, a left wing in an England shirt, he's not productive.
He's
not
not
productive.
good. He's not good. I just don't
So
like.
does Foden get dropped from that England side? He was Premier League Player of the Year last year. You know?
cool, but listen, if
For me, this like the Foden thing kind of goes back to the Pep Guardiola system of the reason why football has changed today.
100%.
Because he is world-class player, but he's been in that system for so long that it's like once you remove him from the system and just be like, go play freely.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
A
he
lot of
can't-
Man City players
They don't
are
know what to
saying-
do because they're just so used to the way they've been drilling at City, which is why City are obviously so good. But you look at Palmer at Chelsea, like we just like go play football. You do the same in England.
You got to ask yourself. Let's just say Palmer, Saka, Foden.
Yeah.
You know, they all play half a season. Let's just say they've all had long-term injuries in the season. They've been fit for the last month of football. I think Saka's the only one that actually starts. Maybe Foden.
You're talking about guaranteed name on that list?
Guaranteed.
Yeah,
He's fit,
Saka.
he's playing. I think
it's
Palmer,
Saka Kane. It's Saka Kane,
yeah,
obviously.
but I think if Palmer gets injured for half a season, I can't guarantee he'll be in the team.
Yeah.
Oh, take injuries out of it. Just go, there's the names, and you got to give me names they guaranteed. Saka and Kane. But Saka's been in the squad a lot longer, so they trust him more at the end of the day.
And he
I
scored
think
vital
I just
goals
think
as well.
Palmer has more potential because
Completely agree.
you're talking about a number 10 that's got goals and outputs that's out of this world. He's creatively insane. His touch is unbelievable.
First touch is
But
so fake.
I just think it's easier to build a team around Palmer. If you said to me, hey,
Agreed.
Stav, who's better, Palmer or Saka? I'm going to say Bukayo Saka for the main reason is that he's a winger that's consistently doing it for the last 4 to 5 years, going from an 18, 19-year-old. When Arsenal suck, he's our best player. When Arsenal are evolving, go, hey, you know what, we're challenging for top 4 now, we're revitalising the team. Saka's still our best player. We then move into a title challenge, competing for titles, and Saka is arguably still our best player. And he's playing out wide. He sees the ball. I reckon if you see the stats, I reckon he touches the ball an eighth of the time Cole Palmer touches the ball.
Okay.
And that's because Cole Palmer plays in that number 10 position where he sees the ball. I look at Jack Grealish at Aston Villa. The guy went for £100 million because he's playing in that 10 at Aston Villa. He's touching the ball constantly.
so much.
He's that guy.
Okay.
Once Cole Palmer gets put into a Man City system, Cole Palmer screams to me as a systemless player. You're the best player in the team we got right now. Let's give you the ball and run through you. But once Palmer gets a great winger, a great striker, and a great guy on the left, he's going to see the ball less. And that's when I think you'll start creeping in a lot of doubt.
Can I ask you one question, Abs? Sorry, Abs, 1 second. What do you look for in a player? If you're a coach, do you prefer magic moments or do you prefer a 7 out of 10 performance every single week?
100%.
I want to ask you, well, what do you prefer?
100%. If you said to me, you go, Stav, you know what, would I rather get a player like Palmer's going to grab the ball from midfield and dictate a game? Cole Palmer.
That's for me.
But what I'm trying to say to you guys is like, you guys are like a very low level side where these players are getting mad impact on the team. Completely 2 different positions, but I remember Aubameyang at Arsenal was our only good player. So when we were scoring goals and outputting, every single time we're getting the ball in the final third, Aubameyang was touching the ball. So he was scoring goals. I saw that team evolve with Saka was coming through, Smith Rowe was coming through, and we're getting all these great players. Odegaard coming to the side. Aubameyang was seeing the ball less, only touching it a few times in the box, and he sucks. He sucks because he got outgrown out of a shit side to a better side. All I want to see is Cole Palmer get these good players around him, and you'll watch his output drop. I'm not saying he's not a world-class
I feel
player.
like this
but
season,
his numbers are inflated, is what I'm trying to say.
I think I know what you're saying. Last year he was probably one of the best players for us with a shit team.
Yeah.
Right. This season, I feel like we've brought better players around him, and now you can see him just dictating play.
Yeah.
He's still getting better and better and better, and his output. I don't think his output's dropped much this season compared to last season.
No,
He's got better players around him.
Yeah, but I think what it is for me as well, and you said it, when Saka was 18, 19, 20, he grew and the side grew with him.
Yeah.
And as time's gone on, he's become a leader in the team. He hasn't let the team or the greatness of the team kind of outgo him. He knows who he is. He knows the quality
Palmer's a
players.
leader at Chelsea.
Yeah, but at the same time, as Stav said,
I think he is, bro. So
You're telling me you got into change
No,
rooms and you see Cole Palmer sitting there and go, great game today.
There's different types of leaders, bro. Like, right? There's like, right, Messi, or what, I'm not comparing him to Messi, but Messi, whatever, is not going to lead and go like, oh yeah, do this, do that.
100%.
But Palmer's the type of leader where I feel like he's leading. His leading is him being pissed off and playing sick.
Correct.
Everyone else is playing at his level now.
But you could say that about any player at the top level. They're going to look at him and go, you know what, he's a leader because he's carrying us. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Not necessarily. No.
Because I looked at Aubameyang and they gave him the captain's armband back in the day and he scored all these goals. But I'm like, he's not a leader,
He had
though.
an ego about him, but
no,
But you need an ego. You need an ego.
ego.
but
do
an
need
ego
an
can twist it because if you have too much of an ego, we've all seen it.
Tom, I'm gonna.
We've all seen it go.
But yeah,
horribly
like
wrong.
I'm not actually hating on Cole Palmer. Like the question is Saka better than Cole Palmer at the moment? I would take Saka because of his consistency, and he touched the ball a third of the time that Cole Palmer does, and he still has an impact on every single game.
Okay.
That's why I would.
I would only say, as a Chelsea fan, I'd only say Saka because he's done it for a longer period of time at the same level. When Palmer's obviously he's been around for 2-3 seasons now. If Palmer can continuously do this for Chelsea, then I'm going to rate him the same as Saka.
I just think Saka, at this point of his career, now has demanded the respect on the field.
Yeah.
You know, when you play Bukayo Saka, when teams come up against Bukayo Saka, you're always finding 2, even sometimes 3 players on.
He does.
Well, that's Palmer
do
now.
that a little hammy injury.
The Saka
you
league,
know what I
bro.
mean? A little hammy injury when
And he's still,
when the
man,
going
he-
gets tough, he
Do we see
starts
on the
pulling his
runway as well?
hammy.
Do we see on the runway as well? Who's
Yeah.
limping to the award?
Yeah,
All
it
guys.
starts limping. He starts
After
limping.
dog walking Andy Robertson, the best left back in Premier League history, he walked him like a dog.
Sorry. Best Premier
Yeah,
back
Ashley Cole's
in
better.
history.
Ashley Cole's better. Ashley
relax
Cole's
there.
better.
Yeah.
I think I want to see more from Palmer. I think if in another season's time he's banged 20 goals, he's still where he is. Chelsea have gone and signed, I don't know, whoever they wanted to for 120 million, brought in more stars. I heard about Shaw Many coming to Chelsea early this morning. A swap deal
There was
for
a
him
swap
and
with
Enzo.
Enzo, yeah. I saw that.
So, you know, you bring more stars around him. Let's see if he still shines.
Would you take that, Ola? Sure, many for Enzo.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
probably.
Enzo Fernandez in 2 months' time is going to be at Chelsea for 2 years.
Yeah.
For 2 years,
That's
it feels
crazy.
like they just signed him
Yeah, I
105
feel like
million.
it came last couple
crazy.
months.
But I would never. Palmer has a higher ceiling than Saka does. 1,000%.
Thank you very much. Thank
Because
you.
the range to his game, goals, assists, can ping a pass.
Yeah, he's
he
the-
knows where to
the
put
type
himself
of
on the
player,
field.
Such a smart player too.
I don't know, man. I don't. Sorry, I don't.
I'm
really
just always
know.
going to rate a 10 better than a winger.
but
At the end of the
then
day,
again,
that's
if you
what
look
I'm
at
saying.
Saka's game and how he plays and how he's evolved, he's not just a winger that takes players on and sends them left, sends them right, and shoots. You know, he's effectively become a creative source since Odegaard's been out. And He's always been like that.
Since Odegaard's been out.
I'm gonna make a big call here.
Nah, Bukayo Saka putting in a ball at the back stick, there's not much better than him in the world.
No.
I'll be honest. I think he's top 5 crosses delivering a ball.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
Yeah.
All right, correct.
On the left foot from that side, my other thing, Saka has actually drifted in and played towards the 8 and the 10 at times for us.
The 8th.
People forget that.
Yeah, but
People
that's
forget that.
he's naturally going to come inside.
Unbelievable.
He's
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm saying in midfield.
He's naturally going to come inside. He's a left-footed
But
side.
that's what I'm saying. There's times where he's actually proven that he can get in those spaces.
But that's how football's
and do his
evolved.
thing. I know, but
Just
as
because
a player,
he's got a play style plus
I'm
inside
not
forward,
saying-
it
I'm
doesn't
not-
mean. Come on.
I'm not trying to say that he's a
His
better
right foot's
midfielder
very
than Palmer.
underrated as well.
Completely agree. Okay, well then, Stav, put it this way. Before we move on, I'll pose you 2 questions, and everyone's going to get a go.
Yeah.
Who's a better finisher of the ball, and who is a better dribbler of the ball? Palmer or Saka?
Striking a ball, Palmer's better.
Yeah, for sure.
And beating a man.
Beating a man.
Saka's better. Dribbling wise, I'd say Saka's better. Yeah.
I agree.
Exact same order.
Exact same order.
Saka's a great finisher.
I would say Palmer for finishing for sure.
Palmer finishing, I agree.
And maybe dribble.
There's no way. There's no way. He's not as smooth on the ball
Define
as
dribbling.
Saka.
Is it beating your man?
Yeah, exactly. Depends what you think about dribbling.
But you can't say to me,
Saka's-
you go to me, bro, Palmer's sharp and he's twisting and turning like he's a Xavi and Iniesta because he's not.
No.
He's
But
not.
He'll mega. I don't see Saka mega. He'll mega man, twist the man inside out, and
That's
come back.
just that's knowing what to do because he's just got that fucking IQ at that level. That guy's behind me. I'm gonna flick it there. But if you're talking about like sharpness on the ball, beating your man, bro,
That's like.
But I wouldn't say that's dribbling,
though.
that's-
That's ball mastery.
Saka's more likely to beat 3 or 4 players in a row. I can't see Palmer doing that.
okay, driving the
no,
driving.
Last year, bro, he single-handedly smashed Everton's
all right,
midfield.
we're
Okay,
talking about Everton here,
you're
though.
a fullback or a centre back. You got Saka running at you. You got Cole Palmer running at you. Who do you think's going to be
Who's harder
doing
to
manage?
tackle, Palmer? Who's harder to tackle,
Oh, get
Palmer?
out of here, man.
Yeah, no, I'll be honest.
That's just because no.
Who's harder to tackle, Palmer?
Saka.
Harder to
Saka-
defend against, I'd say it's Saka. If Saka's running at you,
But Saka,
they have to put 2 on Saka.
I know what
out
Saka gonna
wide.
do.
Out
I
wide.
know what Saka going to do. He's going to cut and shoot.
Brother, you got what?
No, but he's not.
No,
no,
There's
he's
so many
not.
times that Saka,
reckon?
No.
Saka can put it on. The amount of times, if I will give you a compilation of Saka taking it on his right, whether he blasts at the near post or puts it across at the back
he
stick.
does
His
go both
right
sides
foot is
sometimes.
so underrated.
Being a defender yourself, Olan.
I was
Who's
actually,
out of the-
I was
But
going to
Palmer's
say,
not going to run at you.
I was
As
gonna
a
say,
centre back, when you play there,
it's
the
going to be
guys
harder
that
to
sit there and
tackle.
stand, you
It's
just
going to be
back
harder
off
to
them.
tackle Saka.
Since Sean one game
I
last-
think so, Saka. It's going to be harder to tackle Saka than Cole Palmer if they're both running at you 1v1 because Palmer's probably not as quick as Saka number one, so you haven't really got to worry about speed in behind like that. You might be able to catch up with him. Saka's like, he can go both sides really, and if he gets like an inch, he's gone too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that's not disrespecting Palmer when it
not-
comes
yeah.
to having the ball and you go, that guy's running there, let me just slip it through there. He's got an elite level IQ for how
Yes.
dumb he comes off in interviews.
Yeah. Oh,
he does
bro.
have an elite level
Completely.
IQ.
Do yourself a favor. Go watch Arsenal versus Newcastle. I believe it was last year, the first game.
I was going to say,
He
I was
had
there on
Dan
Tuesday.
Burn at left back.
Yeah.
And when I tell you, you'd think Saka was 6'4" like Stav, built like freaking Godzilla.
A brick shit house,
He,
yeah.
No, he stood himself up to Dan Burn. Saka's strength, his speed is very underrated.
Mm-hmm.
His ability to just be able to push off a man is like none other. And for a right winger, his creativity is up there. There's not many wingers in the world that are able to be as creative and as clinical on both feet.
Okay.
On both feet. So
And I want to end on this as well. Just remember when you compare Palmer to Saka, they compared Greenwood to Saka. Saka destroyed him. They compared Rashford to Saka.
Saka
Blitzed
Foden.
him, bro.
Here we go.
Foden in England, bro. I don't know why he's playing, bro. He blitzed Foden.
Well, we'll see with
Next
Palmer.
name on that next door he's slicing down. It's Cole Palmer.
got the right-
That's true.
We'll be there.
So
I
there's a
don't know,
word-
but you are right about those debates.
there's a word
He did
for
X
it.
him off. He did X him off.
Saka is the measuring stick. Whenever someone else comes up, whenever someone's name becomes big, Bukayo Saka's the guy they compare him to. And guess what? Like you said, one by one. One by one.
Line them up and watch them all fall down.
And the day this boy. Grab
Oh,
onto it,
they give me the thing
Hold
there.
on, grab onto it.
Man, can you stop
The day
flaming
this
the
boy-
allegations?
Can you
Please.
let her give us a
I'm
moment?
just
yeah?
saying.
Give us a
You
moment.
two are both holding it.
Give
well,
us a
go.
moment. The day this boy wins a Ballon d'Or.
Okay.
Ballon d'Or,
Okay, you know what?
He
Who has
said.
more chance of winning a Ballon
Great
d'Or?
question.
I would say Cole Palmer.
Thank you very much. He's
There
got a
you
high
go.
ceiling.
Yeah,
He's got a high ceiling.
Listen, there's different. I would start a whole other
There's
debate.
different
here.
levels? I agree.
No.
Okay.
I think I don't think they'll ever give it to an English player. Personally,
Pro Michael Owen, what do you mean?
no, but he wanted a 97.
Yeah, it was a while.
You're telling me after a season like last season, Jude wasn't even top 2.
Yeah, I think he got robbed a bit as
He
well.
did
I
get
agree with
robbed. I
that.
don't know how Rodri.
No, that's
I actually think I would have had Bellingham winning that
win it?
Ballon d'Or.
Over Vinny?
Because I look
I
at
had Vinny.
do you know what it is? Because
He won the Champions League.
Yeah.
And in England we went to the finals.
but I look at impact. He's a
Yeah.
midfielder and he turned up when they needed him to
Yeah.
score in the 90th minute. And we're not talking most of these times it's happened. Scored a crack on that El Clasico to win it when they were like 2-1 down or
Yeah,
1-0
yeah,
down.
yeah, yeah.
That
Slovakia
goal
must-
against Slovakia, like
Bro, he had a
that's
run
just
of had a run of
impact.
months where he was the best player in the world. I
Yeah,
think.
Vinny Jr.'s numbers weren't great enough. Yeah, he's a flary player, but then Rodri, like, bro, Busquets is better than Rodri, and that guy when he made the top 10 a few years ago. Yeah, it's a new era of football, but I love when players have impact, and he had trophies that come along with it. Insane goal numbers from a midfielder.
Okay.
I actually would have given it
Who
to
had a
Jude.
better contribution in the Champions League though, Vinicius or Bellingham? I would say Vinicius. Man of the match performance in the semi and in the final.
Yeah, but you go back to one thing. How many
The
moments
Vinny,
did you
the Vinny
remember
goal
from Vinny?
came from Jude Bellingham as well, no?
It did.
Yeah. So, like, I'm not, like, Jude Bellingham was just impact.
Yeah,
Yeah, but Stav,
I was a bit surprised about the Ballon d'Or. to be
Roger
honest.
should have never won it. I completely agree.
Yeah,
Look,
a bit surprised.
You go back and you ask yourself, who had more moments that you remember from last season? Is Jude Bellingham.
Moments, I agree.
All right, yeah.
Huge moments, bro.
Roger might have had a few last-minute goals. Fair enough. Fair play to you. And yeah, you won the Euros. I still think he shouldn't have won player of the tournament at the Euros.
No.
That's either Yamal or Nico Williams. You take your
Nah,
pick.
Danny Olmo, bro, was huge. in there.
Just because he's half Croatian. Relax.
He kind of looks like you.
yeah.
Not with the blonde guy now,
Did he
but-
get young
Yeah.
player the tournament? Was there young player?
Lamine Yamal, I
Lamine,
think.
Yeah, bro. That guy's
Quality
unreal.
player.
So
Yeah, unreal.
we're not going to go through all these 1,000,001 stats. I don't need to know why
Mate,
Bukayo Saka
it was-
has had 181 fouls in his career. But
So,
Yeah, it's,
I need to lock it in. Your final debate, your final reasoning, your final why is Cole Palmer better than Bukayo Saka?
As Stav said, I measure it by who's got the highest ceiling. For me, it's Cole Palmer.
Look, Jack Wilshere had a high ceiling, and unfortunately,
Hey, out of there, mate.
You not brought
He's
up
at
Jack
Norwich.
Wilshere.
He's
in
at
that
Norwich,
debate,
mate,
have
relax.
you? You've not added Jack Wilshere in there. That's terrible.
who's at Chelsea? Who's at Chelsea? Who's at Chelsea? What could have been?
What
What
could have been is
with
probably
Chelsea,
Mark
bro.
Van Ginkel.
Spending-
Mark Van Ginkel.
losing Lukaku,
Oh, bro.
losing all that money. Think, you know what? We got Lukaku back, a world
Right,
class
mate,
number
right to
9.
there.
He starts dog walking Pablo
yeah, I
Mari, and they
remember.
think
Oh
he's
my
back.
God.
But
And
I
they
don't know if
That's
I'll
it.
never
Straight
forget.
back to McDonald's you go, Romelu.
Big Max lost all his form, put on 10 kilos.
I'll never
he's
forget
back
the
in Napoli.
moment. I think it was like 3 years ago where Lukaku's first game back. It was Arsenal v
Arsenal.
Chelsea.
That's what I'm saying.
2-0.
But
He dog
James was fucking firing. Lukaku was on
Yeah,
fire.
he
I was
scores
like,
a-
we are back for the next 5 years. This is us.
Because that Arsenal side was bad,
Oh
bro.
my god, bro.
Rob
What time
Holding
it,
was
James?
in that. Like, we were bad.
Listen, with all due respect, I think my grandma could have made a freaking running behind against that centre back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rob Holding and
Lukaku
Pablo
was
Mari,
just
bro.
throwing everyone around. I was like, this is our strike
Bro,
for the
you're
next 5
peak
years.
Lukaku, though, bro.
This is him.
You can't handle him. You
Fuck
can't
That is the
handle him.
Mark
definition.
Henry, I'm just
Yeah.
Mark Henry.
Timber.
That is the definition of a streets will never forget player for those 2 months.
Yeah,
Never forget.
man.
Now, on that history, boys,
Yes.
for me, what is the better club? Arsenal or Chelsea?
Bigger?
Bigger and better. You got Stav,
Oh,
2 minutes.
I think bigger clubs Arsenal. And I
minutes, go.
I think a lot of people go, oh, trophies, like, but you haven't won a European trophy. I look at, like, if I was asking an average Joe on the street, Arsenal or Chelsea, they're knowing Arsenal.
They're gonna know Chelsea too. Like, what kind of?
No,
what
no,
the
no, no,
fuck?
bro.
Let me-
You're talking about well-known. No,
Yeah,
you're
if
talking about
you
well.
go anywhere in the world where they know Arsenal, they're gonna know Chelsea.
But what I'm trying to say is, no, but you go to Spain and you go,
They're gonna know-
bro.
No, that's a terrible argument.
No, it's
That is a
not.
horrendous
Because I can
argument.
guarantee you, average person in Spain is gonna think Arsenal are a bigger club.
In Spain, of course, they're coached by a Spaniard.
No, I don't take it as
Well,
that.
they-
Spaniard.
Okay,
I'm saying go Brazil. Go to all these
Brazil
countries.
now.
Like,
Go every
no, but
country
I'm
you
saying
want.
go to every country that value football. Arsenal, a synonymous big club. Massive club. You're talking about a club that's rich in history. Chelsea brought in Roman Abramovich. Hey, give me money.
If you're talking about United, because I feel like
Thank you.
No,
I feel like-
United
I feel
and
like- I feel
Liverpool-
like United are rich in history. Where if they even if you don't know football, you know Manchester
Let
United.
me-
I don't know if Arsenal's that.
I think
let me-
Arsenal are just outside that bracket. I think you go United, Liverpool,
Arsenal.
and then you go Chelsea.
Let me educate the people for a little bit. So we've got 13 league titles, 14 FA Cups.
You can't.
We're the
Here we go.
only
Here we
club
go.
in history to go through a Premier League season undefeated.
Yeah, well, we're not living in the past here.
And
What are we
you want
doing?
to talk about
What
European?
are we doing here?
Listen, and oh come on,
we
your
wanted
club-
to start listing
All right.
accolades.
Listen,
Listen,
that's
our club only
history.
got formed in
Sorry,
2010.
sorry,
All
all
right,
right.
fucking relax.
Exactly.
Sorry that my club
We can
didn't
all
exist.
do that. We can all talk history.
Right, your history really started in 2004.
Yeah, I know.
that's
That's what I'm
fine.
saying.
You're
That's what I'm
a club,
saying.
you're a club that
We're newly
Exactly.
We're new to achievements and stuff.
We've won
but
trophies through our whole time, bro. We've been around since.
But that's what I'm
But
saying. But his argument,
doesn't that contribute to a bigger club? That's what I'm trying to say.
what you've won. Are you
No,
saying
like I'm talking about
trophies?
like just the size of Arsenal is just. It's just 10 times bigger than Chelsea, I
10
feel
times?
like. Because
No,
you
10
guys
times.
will go, bro, we won European
Come on,
Championship, bro. You
no,
won
I
a
don't-
European
I don't-
Championship
I didn't
where
go
no
to-
one
go
gave
if
an
you
F
like.
about you guys. In 2012, you were not even close to being the best team in that Champions League. And in 2020, one of the worst sides to win that
Well, you've
Champions
gotta
League
win it.
trophy.
Well, you
But
gotta win it. That's
I
the
agree.
Who fucking cares?
I agree,
But
but
bear
you,
in mind-
but
Do you know
you-
what I mean?
no, but
Who
you said to
actually
me, you go, bro,
cares?
we dominated,
That's
bro.
right,
We
bro.
were the best team in the world by far, but you can't argue with it. Man City treble winning side a couple of years ago. That's the best side I've ever grown up on. I am young, but that was the best side I've ever grown up
you're
on
too
because they're
young, man.
dominant. And that's
You're way too young, bro.
That bear in mind, you're about I think almost 20 trophies behind us.
I don't give a shit.
Bro, honestly,
okay.
I'll be honest with you, I couldn't give a shit about a trophy back in 1930.
Correct.
Okay.
But I, like,
But okay,
they're a
but
team-
your
they're a team
argument.
that goes in waves, bro. They're a team that. All right,
Oh,
04.
sorry, you
hold
weren't
on,
relevant
hold on,
for 8
hold on,
years.
hold on,
But
hold
what
on,
is the-
hold on,
what is
hold
the-
on.
what is the-
Brother,
the
you're the only
argument
team
here?
I've seen win a Premier League
No,
and
no.
then finish freaking 10th the season after.
That's talent.
Just
That's
need
talent.
a reach.
That's talent too.
You're
you know what
touching
I'm-
things like a turnstile.
you said we weren't relevant. I'll
Yeah.
tell you this. We weren't relevant at the top of the table, sorry.
Correct.
But you guys were like rotting in 8th the last 2 seasons. No one gave a shit. We banded you guys and that was it. Arsenal were relevant. We were shit. We're relevant when we're
memes.
good.
Because of Arsenal fan
because
TV.
we're massive.
Because they know we're that big.
bro,
Because of Arsenal
are
fan
you guys
TV.
going to ban a Newcastle United when no one's got fan presence online? No, Man City, no one gives a shit. Everyone wants them to win the
but
Premier League.
what's the
We get
argument
banned
here? Who's
because
the bigger
we're
club?
massive.
Who's the bigger
You are
club?
nowhere near
Arsenal.
being the bigger club.
That's what I'm trying to say.
All right,
don't
history.
think-
We've got you on history.
Okay, history, yes. But I'm
Recency
saying,
bias, you've got it. I'll
Let
give
him
you
speak.
that.
Let him speak.
yeah, I reckon history. I say you guys have got us, but when you're talking in terms of a big club, like people know, People know Chelsea all
But
over the world.
Arsenal
But
are
if
more
any-
relevant. We are more relevant.
What do you mean by what relevancy
Bro,
can be
stop
measured
shaking,
by?
bro.
Bro,
anything?
we are.
Like, what does relevancy mean?
When we are shit,
That's so-
everyone's speaking
that's
about
so
us. When we're
vague.
good, everyone's speaking about us. When we're mid,
Okay,
everyone's speaking about us.
Another reason why everyone speaks about you when you're shit is because it's banter.
Thank you.
No, but
Thank you very much.
It's nice to banter
Because
an Arsenal
there's
fan,
so many
because the
of
fans
us.
are so annoying.
Because they wait for our demise. Because we're
Oh,
that
no.
good.
No.
We're up there. They
When Man
wait for us
United
to
is shit,
fail.
everyone banters Man United. When they're good, everyone's talking about
Not more
United.
than Arsenal.
Because
Not more than Arsenal.
Yeah, no,
more than
no,
Ah, bro.
bro.
serious?
Bro.
For 6 years, that was my
Brother,
highlight.
you get big
That was
by
my
Man
highlight.
United, you get laughed at. It's as simple as that. You get
Nah.
that's
You're not because it's United. Even with same thing with Liverpool, bro. Massive club. We are the third biggest club in England by far. I think. If you said to me, "Go, Stav, we're judging off
agree
European trophies
at
on
all.
Prems only," have that argument because I'm willing to have it because we don't have one Champions League. You guys got two.
couple
Like I
is cup.
said, whether in the manner you won it, that's different. I look at that
Who
more.
cares about the
But
manner
I'm just-
in which you
but
win
that's
a
what I'm saying.
trophy,
Judging
bro?
off trophies, that's it.
You
But-
flew 2 Champions Leagues. I agree with you.
I believe we are 30 times more relevant than Chelsea here.
Bro, he went from 10,
Yeah.
then 30.
I don't know.
Because we're just we're a massive
all right,
club.
here's the question. 06. Things go differently.
Correct.
This
If
conversation
things
wouldn't be
go
happening.
No.
But it goes
Yeah,
to show you.
it wouldn't.
But it
Yeah, I
goes to
think it
show
would.
you the levels on a domestic level. We're far and beyond the better club. When it comes to European, you've got that. I'll give it to you. Yeah, you may have fluked the one against City, and you may have fluked the one against Bayern.
again.
I don't know,
Yeah,
and there's
of
something
course.
fake about Chelsea. I just can't get around.
Oh my god!
What's
here
the
we
fakeness go?
It's just rotten. I don't
Brother,
know.
You're a club that has more people in and out than freaking Sefton up here in Sydney.
Roman Abramovich comes in.
Because he found a formula that works. And
Thank you very
I'm
much.
not hating it. Like,
There's
go.
nothing wrong
Like,
with the
if
formula.
you're an owner, you come in Abramovich and you're getting success in a club,
Yeah.
100%. But there's something flimsy about it when you go bigger club. I'm just never going to take it seriously. Man City have had this 10-year run where we will look back in history and go, that is probably the most dominant run in English history, even with Manchester United. But everyone's still not going to. Something's just not right about it because it's.
because
No,
they
no,
bought
no.
the players,
No,
or
no, I know
you're
what it is.
talking about big
because the players
club.
didn't come from the academy or something.
because-
What the fuck are we
I
talking
got you,
about
listen,
here?
I got you.
Because when you're talking about size and relevancy of a club,
But Man City have never been.
There's something you can't
but
buy
but
about.
Man City have never been that big. Like, never
But you
been like a
guys
big
10 years ago
free.
were that. You guys
But-
were
but
that 10
Man
years
City
ago.
have never been that.
No, but I think I know what he's trying to say. When it comes to Man United, when it comes to Liverpool, when it comes to Arsenal, you could have whoever's managing it, whoever's playing for them. That club has history. It's got personality.
Yeah.
It's able to hold itself the name to it. Chelsea, unless it was Jose Mourinho, that club had no personality. It had nothing to it aside from the fact that they've got money and they're winning trophies. And now, if Pep wasn't winning 5 trophies in a row, if Pep wasn't doing what he's doing, people still complain that it's oil money. And it is. And it was the same thing with you guys. Whereas when you got clubs with history, clubs with culture, that's when we're talking about a bigger club.
All right,
But it's like, sorry to cut
go,
off again.
go.
I always look back at this and you go, you give, despite wherever we are in the table, say like that's irrelevant, and you give a player and you go, hey bro, you can transfer to Chelsea or you can transfer to Arsenal. I think 90% of the players are choosing
And
Arsenal.
Mudryk just happened.
What?
Brother,
Because Mudryk you paid 20 more million
I don't
for
get
him.
it.
That's
What
why.
are you
I
saying?
don't get it.
Bro,
look into
are
the
you
Mudryk
saying?
deal. Look into the Mudryk
Wait,
deal.
wait. What's the? Where are you going with that?
because
get it.
Arsenal have pull in terms of history and credibility as a club.
Okay, but
you guys are
if
just
you're playing
fully-
in today's society, right?
Yeah.
And you get offered both contracts, you're more likely to probably win something at
Thank
Chelsea
you very
than you
much.
are
No way,
Arsenal.
no
Right now,
way.
So
Get
why
out of here,
are you
man.
going to go to Arsenal?
What, right now? You're
Okay,
telling me right now.
we're talking last 10 years. Let's say last 10 years.
years,
yeah. You'd
right?
be mad.
Last 10 years, you get offered a contract as a player. I'm pretty sure it's happened thousands of times, probably, that they've chosen Chelsea.
you guys are
over
always
us.
gonna pay
Giroud
more.
left you boys. Come to us.
Because
Won
we
something.
didn't want him.
Brother, would you rather
but
go
he
buy
didn't
one
want-
stuff?
He came in one stuff.
Okay,
with
but
us.
if we looked at it like that, Jorginho, Kai Havertz, the
Okay.
list goes on with Chelsea coming
Yeah,
up.
but have they won stuff with you?
No, but I'm not saying that. I'm saying if there's no like. We don't know where Arsenal are at, who's their manager, where they're going to sit on the
so-
table. There's 2 clubs sitting there, and you got to choose one. It's always going to be Arsenal.
Mudryk, if you were to go ask Mudryk the question today, would you
Oh,
have
no,
rather
no,
gone
you
to
can't do
Arsenal?
that. No, you can't.
He was in our stadium 2 weeks ago. He's twerking for us.
Brother, he came in with a nice head of hair, with a nice haircut, and now he's left the club with a prison
brother's
card.
on a pole right
No,
now,
he's on a
twerking.
bus
Yeah, of
card.
course he is, yeah.
No,
So
because, and do you know why that deal went through?
Tell me.
Do you know why that deal
Tell
went
me.
through? They paid 25 extra million.
He's the fucking agent for
No,
me.
no, no.
No, but he did. We offered 80.
No.
You
go look into
offered
the
80.
deal.
Arteta was signing all these gems. You want Chelsea to go, yeah, let's copy Arteta because he knows what he's
oh,
doing.
I'm not here to
And
get
you went and
political.
sniped
I'm
our
not here to
player.
get political. There was an extra 20 million deal in there.
elections
that
tomorrow,
went-
run for it tomorrow.
No. I'm not taking it. You let me finish. I'll let you finish.
Go.
There was an extra 20 million in there that dealt with the political side of the game. I'm not going to mention it, but that dealt with the political side of the game. You read into it.
Right.
Both teams offered 80.
Okay.
The Shakhtar boss turned around and said, look, you pay an extra 20 million. We want to pass it off. There was a political thing that dealt with it. And he went from there. You asked the brother today who would rather join. If you told him you can join Arsenal tomorrow, he's joining Arsenal. It's as simple as that.
Thank you. You signed for Shakhtar tomorrow.
Get out of here, man.
Stav, 30 seconds as to why you think... 30 seconds as to why you think Arsenal has more history and why they're a better club.
It's a thing on credibility, like I just said before. It's built on history. It's built on the culture of the club for years. And I don't care. Like people go, bro, we won this trophy in 1930. I couldn't give a shit about these trophies won in 1930. I'm just talking about just growing up through the years, where it's through generations. Arsenal are synonymous. Chelsea just weren't. And whether you can say there's two UCL trophies, throw the trophies into it, that's fine. You can do that argument, but I don't necessarily look into that. I think Abs is right. Say Arsenal won just one Champions League. I think that's worth more than your two that you have in rolling up history. And like I said, say the records are blank. You don't know what your manager you're signing for. A player had two choices to join. They're joining Arsenal over Chelsea.
30 seconds as to why Chelsea's better.
I just think, Chelsea are the last 10 years, right? When you look at the last 10 years, what we've achieved over the last 10 years, I almost think like we set the blueprint in how people run their clubs if they want to win stuff, right? And I think eventually that's what clubs are set up to do. You want to win stuff, you want to win trophies. Otherwise, what we do in here, you're saying we're just here for vibes and people to know that we're here to play football. We're here to win stuff. If you as a club, right, don't want to win anything, and you're just like, people know who we are. I don't give a shit. People know who fucking Bournemouth are. People know who Aston Villa are. People know Chelsea because we win stuff. And if we're not winning stuff, that's probably when you're like, all right, well, fuck them off then.
With all due respect,
Your 30 seconds, go.
With all due respect, this is before I tell you. With all due respect to the blueprint that you were talking about, what club has actually turned around and done that? Look at Tottenham. Look at Manchester United. If your blueprint is sacking a manager every two seasons,
Sorry, that's not a fucking.
Not every two seasons.
Sorry.
But not every 2 seasons.
Sorry,
but the blueprint for Abramovich was, we'll get a gaffer in there. If you don't win anything in the next 3-4 years, you're gone, right? And the players, and he did. The managers that he signed always won stuff.
It's worked, but I just
always
look at
won
it.
stuff.
No, but I look at it and I go, 10 years of Chelsea success doesn't make it a bigger club than Arsenal. That's the way I look at it.
So on that note, I think history-wise,
But you said relevancy.
History-wise,
we are more
relevant at
we
the
are.
moment. If you look at the rankings in terms of how each club has performed over the last few years, we're up there. If you look at the squad and our record, and
most recent success, Chelsea blitz us.
Abs, and there's your answer.
But relevancy right now.
History before 1950, I'm joking. Before 2006, I think it's them. Now, I think it's Chelsea.
Okay.
Because we have won the most prestigious competition in the world. The most prestigious in the world. Not once, twice.
Okay. If
You have?
No, we're technically we've got a cup in the
The
cup.
most,
Technically, we've got a
the
cup in
most-
the cup.
and you're just making more of my case.
What?
You have zero of the most prestigious competition in the world.
Okay, and you've won it twice, but we've got 14 FA Cups, we've got 13 Premier Leagues,
Hey, he's lost.
17
As
Community
soon as he
Shields.
starts listing.
No, but domestically,
Slum,
hold on. No. Nottingham Forest have won a fucking Champions League. What's your point?
Exactly.
What's your point?
Have they got more history in
What's
Europe
your
than
point?
you? Thank you
Yeah,
very
they
much.
probably
There you
do.
go. They do.
They probably do. They probably do. We've got actually one cup in this cup each.
Just like the logo behind you, you missed five. Thank you.
No, hold on.
All right.
No, we're not moving on, mate. I'll tell you something about
Brother.
Thomas. When Thomas can't actually think of another response, he'll want to move on. And he's done this since episode one.
I'm just
Listen,
keeping time here, man.
No, we're ahead of time, mate. Don't worry.
yeah.
We're ahead of time. All I'm trying to say at the end of the day is your club,
Okay.
right now, whether it's the last 5 years or the last 20, in 20 years' time, this won't be a conversation. This is recency bias.
It's not. I don't.
Manchester City. Now, Manchester City in 20 years' time, if they don't continue doing what they're doing, it's just going to be a blip in history.
But people,
If we don't win another Premier League within the next 5 years, our Invincibles just going to be a blip in history. Yeah, we've got long history. We've got long history. We can count on it. But you guys, your success has come over forget the last 5 years, the 15 years between 2020 and 2005.
Okay. Well, lucky for you and lucky for us, that's going to be decided on Monday. Preview of Chelsea versus Arsenal. 3:30. It's going to be a tough game. Still without Odegaard. Give us your thoughts, boys.
I reckon. What predictions? Or how's it
Predictions and
gonna-
why?
I reckon it's. I could see it being a draw.
Yeah.
1-1.
I could see a 1-1 or 2-2. Both teams have chances. If Saka gets a goal, maybe Palmer gets a goal. You know, I could see that happening. I think we've both gotten better defensively, and you can see that in how Chelsea are playing, Arsenal playing. So I don't think it's going to be that high scoring, and especially games like that, it almost like teams sometimes they cancel each other out. You know, so I could see that happening, not too high scoring.
Nick?
Maybe not score prediction, but I think it's going to be a draw. I think this game's going to heavily depend on who scores first as well. Arsenal are very
Arsenal's
score
at
a
home?
goal, shop. Is that at
home?
Emirates?
Arsenal.
No, it's at Stamford Bridge.
Is it? Oh, Stamford.
Bridge?
I think Arsenal will take a point at this rate. Look, it depends if Martin Odegaard plays or not. I think that's a heavy.
Do you reckon he will, though?
There's a game to bring him back.
Would I run the risk? Yes. Do I think Arteta will throw him at Stamford Bridge with a niggle? Probably not. I think that's why he didn't play Nueri at St James Park
So
as
you're
well.
saying he's resting him for that game? Possibly. I think if you're going to throw the kid in, you got to throw the kid in. Because he's got talent. We have to.
Yeah.
Who, Ethan
Winneri?
Winneri. Ethan Winneri.
No, Ranieri.
Oh,
Do you think he'll play Winneri against Chelsea?
No
I
way,
don't
bro.
think so.
No way. Nah.
I don't think so.
Look, at the end of
Okay,
the
Trossard.
I would. I don't
How many
think
times?
he will.
How many times have you tried and tested Trossard in the 10?
No, but I look at it and go, 17-year-old, you're throwing him away in the bridge, London derby, physical as it's going to
Saka
be
did-
in that midfield. Yeah, but
Yeah,
because
Saka
Saka
was
had
different,
to
bro.
because we
were
had
in the
no one
trenches,
else.
bro.
Yeah.
We were
Like it was our wingers.
Trossard can't play 10.
no, but hold on.
I agree with you.
Trossard. The problem with Trossard is he's very hot and cold. You're either getting a 9 out of 10 performance or a 2 out of 10.
I just think he's a shit 10.
But we don't have another
He's not a
option.
10. He's not a 10.
That's
Now,
what I'm
not a 10.
you
Like a
asked
winger,
me.
isn't he?
You asked me something. I think when it comes to that game, I think we have to play three defensive style midfielders. Because you know why? No, you know why? I'm saying
Saka's going to have a game.
Moreno, Rice, Partey. Okay, they're all defensively very sound, defensively very well actually. I think your strongest point is your transition. So when it comes to how you stop Chelsea, is stopping the counter attack. But this all depends for me if Calafiori is fit, which I don't think he'll be. Because if Calafiori is fit, I think we'll actually be able to out counter your counter.
So your score prediction is?
So I think it's gonna be a draw as well. Sadly, I don't think we're gonna.
I think it could be a bland 0-0.
Yeah,
That's-
0-0.
Look, I think the best way we go about this game is putting Declan Rice and follow Cole Palmer for 90 minutes, and I think we could beat them. Honestly,
Manchester United, who done it?
Mad
2 weeks ago?
marking him for the whole
Just
game.
hold his shirt.
Liverpool.
Liverpool.
Yeah.
Well, Liverpool done it anyway. If you put a man on Cole Palmer, you basically.
And that's what I'm
cancel
saying.
the game.
Everything runs through him. Everything runs through him.
Listen,
Like Jack Grealish at
I'm not gonna
Aston
deny
Villa,
it. Bro, I'm not gonna
like
deny
Aubameyang at Arsenal. I've seen it all before.
Take
Seen
it
it all
from us.
before.
Take it all from. Take it.
Like those Saka debates. We've seen it all before.
God.
Been there, done that. We won them all. We've
This is why
beaten
we-
them
Hey,
all.
Hey, you know what?
That's why we hate Arsenal fans.
Palmer 1-0.
Listen,
Fuck it. Fuck you
listen,
guys. Palmer 1-0.
listen. In a year's time, you're gonna see me and Stav sitting here. We're having a laugh.
See it, bro. We're gonna be talking about streets won't forget plays, and we go, bro, you met Cole Palmer those 2 seasons, bro. He was a baller.
Fuck off.
He was a baller. And then I'm thinking about Saka holding up a Champions League, holding up Premier
I'll
League.
do you one better. I'll do you one better. FIFA 27. Flashback Cole Palmer while he's a silver again.
All right, listen. Before the disrespect continues, talking about history, talking about 2 prestigious clubs, I think it would only be the fitting way to end the episode with a combined 11. So how it's going to run is your candidate, Stav's candidate, Olan's candidate, myself and Abs will decide that starting 11.
Actually,
Yeah, I
Is
think
it of old?
Nah.
Everybody.
listen,
yeah.
Karen?
Chelsea.
we take a vote.
Oh, okay.
We take all 4 take a vote. I think it's only
Everyone
fair.
can- everyone can put a
because if me and you are going to sit here and argue and decide on something, we're going to be here all day.
All right, done. Goalkeeper, kick us off.
David Raya, 100%.
No, all time, brother, all time.
Oh,
all time.
sorry.
all time. all time.
Stab, we'll leave it there.
All
Bit of
time.
check, 1-0.
Better check, yeah.
Better check.
Check. All right, left back, boys.
David Raya, I'm like,
Left back, right?
Ashley Cole.
Left back, Ashley Cole, Arsenal version.
What?
Sorry.
Are you serious?
Invincible.
You can't go-
Invincible Ashley Cole.
Cristiano Ronaldo
Champions
said
League
the
winner.
hardest person to defend
Champions
against
League
is
winner.
Ashley
Yeah,
Cole.
we went and bought him the next season. So what do you mean
All right, calm
invincible?
down.
version?
Roman,
He
bro,
had his whole
Roman-
career at Arse, bro. You
Brother,
can't say.
Did he
you
even
can't
play?
say.
Did he even play left back in that final?
1 second there. Olan.
Yeah, you can't say what the Ashley Cole version at Arsenal.
Brother, it's already 2-0 away. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
It's already 2-0 away.
Did
Technically,
Cash-
better check.
Wait, can we get a fact?
Yeah,
Did
it's
Ashley
pretty-
Cole
say
play
that.
left back in
That's
that
like
final?
saying Sporting Lisbon version of Ronaldo.
I don't think he did.
But he had
Ryan
most of his
Bertrand
career
did.
at United. You know,
Ryan Bertrand.
you can't do that.
I agree. I completely agree.
do
But once again, they're salty.
And
Yeah,
can I
yeah.
say something as well? Petacek did win a Golden Glove with
I
Arsenal
don't really
too.
care.
He's better. He was better at Chelsea.
Thank you very much.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
Bro, what are we
Come on,
doing?
this
bro?
is
Bro, they're stretching hard.
All right, but that's it. That's left back there.
2-0, mate.
Centre halves.
Centre halves, go.
Terry's in there. Don't want to have. I don't
Terry
want to have a
has-
yeah,
debate. I don't want to have a
Terry's-
debate.
We go
This-
Adams or do we go Sol Campbell?
I'd go Tony Adams.
Tony Adams, Mr.
think
Arsenal,
it's-
Tony
Adams
Adams.
I'll give him Adams. I'll give him Adams.
Right back.
You guys.
Laurent's probably our best one.
Who?
No?
Laurent.
Varane?
Invincible.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
Van
Ivanovic.
White.
Yeah, I think Ivanovic over Varane, bro.
Yeah, he is probably.
I think that's already.
You haven't got anyone.
Yeah, I'd say Branislav.
Yeah.
If you say Hector Bellerin, please walk out. Fuck. Man.
Pre ACL, bro. Pre ACL, bro.
I looked at these guys. I looked at these guys.
Bakary Sanya. Come on, man. These are names.
Oh, shut up,
These
bro.
are names.
Did Colo play right back?
If you say
Nah, he's not.
Bro, it's the
don't-
colour.
say Bellerin,
Concede the beat. Take
Collar
him.
off.
No, bro, I said Colo.
Bro,
Colo.
let him take
Colo.
let him take the non-technical positions. Take your fullbacks, take your goalkeepers, bro. Go for
This is
it.
making sure we're doing the order.
Non-technical positions,
All
he
right,
says.
we're going flat, 4-3-3.
Hey, Justin's saying he's a left back.
4-3-3.
4-3-3 flat.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
a centre up left back too, right?
All right, 3 centre mids.
Ooh.
Patrick Vieira's in there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Paddy V.
No, we
Lampard.
got to put Kante in there. No,
Oh.
no, not in the old time.
So, Vieira?
I'm shitting ourselves here.
One second. So, Vieira, yes.
Huh?
Vieira-
Vieira we
give him
can do.
Vieira.
Lampard, you have to.
We've got to put Lamps as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
100%.
no,
That- They're
Lampard.
your two.
And the third-
I'm just thinking whether you go like a 10 or do you just do another.
Because Kante can do the 8. Kante can do the 8. Up
Yeah,
and
I would
down.
have Kante over Petit.
Kante can do the 8, and then you can have Vieira and Lamps. I'll give you guys Vieira.
How long are we gonna let Chelsea have 2 midfielders?
Yeah, I'll give you no. Just,
Can you give us a minute? Give us a
Cesc Fabregas,
Serious.
Fabregas.
The clock is
Arsenal
turning, they're like,
days.
oh wait, who did we have?
Ozil.
Is that a real fan? I'm just looking at him going,
Nah.
We're talking history here, by the way. We're talking history. This is all time.
I would say Kante.
You reckon? Kante?
bro, they're stretching hard, bro. Bro, they're panicking
I would
hard.
say Kante.
Ooh.
There's no way
Name
you
the
can.
Brazilian brother.
Gilberto Silva.
No, you're not.
No, we're just throwing names here. Relax, calm down. We're
your
not
mic
trying
off.
to get anyone in that front three.
There's no one at his level. Look, could you argue Cesc Fabregas in general? You
think
probably
Cesc
You can
Good
argue.
shout.
You probably
You
could.
can argue Cesc, but
Cesc is also
Some of
one.
his best days are at Chelsea as well. So it's like.
Kante.
Yeah, but
You
the
gotta
way
get
he
Kante.
came through also as a 17-year-old.
Look, if you said 3 midfielders, I would go Lampard, Vieira, Kante. If you said if an actual balanced
but you don't think
mid
it's-
three
you
there,
don't
you
think
would
it's
go
balanced with
Vieira.
Vieira and Kante.
yeah, but
Vieira would be more of a like. I know
can
you say
swap them
Kante
around.
eight,
I think
Yeah, you can go. You can
but
go. Vieira
Fabregas
can-
is better 8 than Kante
but
is.
I reckon
Kante's best ability is he's a ball winner.
Yeah, but I'm
He's a
saying
ball
you can
winner.
go. You can go Vieira in the 8, and you can go Kante in the 6. No.
Kante was never at 6 for me though.
What?
I thought it was more.
Where he
A lot
plays?
of people
What's
like
his
to hype
ability?
up. Yeah,
Get off
ball winner.
FIFA. Get off FIFA. And look how he actually
Okay,
played.
he could. That's
ball
like saying that he could do more.
It's 'cause he
but
got
was
legs,
known for
bro.
6.
Yeah.
He's got like, but I don't know. Oh, look, if you said just three names,
Yeah.
Kante.
You don't think Cesc?
Abs.
I love
Stop
Cesc.
stretching, brother. All right.
Technically, yes.
We'll
Technical
go.
ability.
We'll
yeah.
go. Let's go front 3.
Left wing.
Thierry Henry.
No. Yes.
Where you going?
Because-
if
because
Hazard's
the
not
strikers
if
do.
Hazard's not in the front 3, I'm walking out. By the way.
TT. We're going TT left.
If
If
Hazard
striker
is
Dennis
if
Bergkamp.
Hazard is
Whoa.
yeah,
Wait,
striker
what'd you
Dennis
say?
Bergkamp.
Striker Dennis
Striker
Bergkamp, and
not.
then
Over
Okay,
Didier.
talk.
Is that what we're doing?
One second. So Bergkamp versus Drogba. Is that correct? It's Didier Drogba.
Bergkamp every day
It's
of the
Didier
week.
Drogba.
Brother,
I see-
Didier Drogba could never do what Bergkamp did on that field. Ever.
I'm talking about what's a striker's role. What's
Ever.
a striker's role?
Ever.
no,
Dennis Bergkamp was a false 9 before false 9 existed.
No, but I feel
Hey,
like
excuse
no,
me,
but
fuck you, false nine. One second. Wait, what are you trying to do?
Didier Drogba redefined that position of
Thank
a
you very
hold-up
much.
striker. He was there wasn't really a hold-up
Didier
striker.
Drogba was a dog. He was a dog.
He was- but
Didier
he was- but he
Didier
was so
Drogba was a
technic-
striker. He was a striker. Look,
That's
if you phrase, you go, who was a better striker? Didier Drogba.
There's your answer, Stav.
Who was the better footballer? Dennis Bergkamp.
Brother.
You could argue
Dennis
that Dennis
Bergkamp was the
Bergkamp
better
is
footballer.
arguably the best player in Premier League history. That is how good
who?
Dennis Bergkamp
in
is.
history is
Dennis
crazy.
Bergkamp.
Okay, okay.
In history is
I'm
crazy.
not saying I would.
Going
Technical
too
wise,
far.
technical
You're going
wise,
way
yes.
too far.
Technical
In
wise,
history-
yes.
Because he
Stop,
had the
bros.
goals.
Technically.
His technically was unbelievable.
Yeah,
His
technically
touch was
wise,
his touch was probably the best touch in Premier League history.
Berbatov's up there for sure. 1 second. If you want
Berbatov, but
if
he's
you want
different
five
level.
aside, if you want a 5 aside, Bergkamp makes it. 11 aside, your job as a striker is to what?
Take away.
1 second.
I
your
said, phrase it as a striker. Drogba's there.
There's your answer. So Drogba, TT, and Hazard on the right.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I'll go that. You can have
She's gonna
Thierry.
say Sanchez.
You can have
She's gonna say Sanchez.
Oh no, Piqué and Hazard's one of my favorite players ever.
Sorry, happy with that, Abs.
Thierry, Hazard, and Drogba up top.
But I think if you realistically go it, I'd probably actually go Henry up top.
Yeah.
Fuck, we're forgetting Ian Wright as well, bro.
was
But
gonna say,
no,
you
no,
know,
no,
down the
no.
middle.
I'd have Drogba over Ian Wright.
Thank you.
But if I was in a normal world, bro, you'd have Henri up top. You'd have Henri up top. Then you have Hazard on the left. Then you'd probably go Alexis on the
I'll
right.
raise you another.
No, you wouldn't.
I'll raise you another question.
No, you wouldn't.
If you were to switch it, make it a 4-4-2. If you were to make it a 4-4-2,
Yeah.
would you take Kante out and play Bergkamp up front with Henri?
Yeah, you would.
Yeah,
You would.
Yeah?
You would.
So Henri on the right.
Look, so he's trying to get more hustle.
Yeah,
No, but all
done,
jokes,
the game's done.
Yeah, you are, bro.
all jokes aside, you'd play Henri on the left, you play Hazard on the right, and then you have.
Sorry, the 4-4-2 was used in 1960 when fucking Wilnock
Yeah,
and
it's
brother,
4-3-3.
wasn't one of your managers playing 4-4-2 not too long ago?
Alan Thatcher's a great manager for the Wanderers.
Fuck,
amazing.
we
But-
saw your team play 4-4-2 on the weekend.
And
What
they're doing
happened? They're 1 point out of 9 anyway.
It's okay, relax.
Hey, this is a whole nother debate. It could be. We'll just switch the screen for Wanderers, Sydney FC,
yeah, let's not do that.
and then we'll start talking about clubs with history.
We'll leave it there.
Listen, on that note, I'm personally quite glad that Chelsea had more players.
No,
But-
look, I think that first 4-3 we did was pretty fair.
Yeah.
I just think it's criminal that Bergkamp's not in there.
Yeah, I think honestly, I agree with him in that sense because he's arguably one of the best Premier League players of all time, and he's not in there.
To
Like,
keep them quiet.
no, because
Okay,
sorry to
okay.
cut you off again.
Okay,
If I said to you right now, name your top 50 Premier League players of all time, I think
Top 50's in there.
I think Bergkamp's higher than Drogba. But if you're going striker, I would have Drogba in there.
Okay.
Because
Would you settle for
Bergkamp was
Bergkamp as a
almost,
10?
he was a striker, but he was like
Yeah,
almost
exactly.
a number 10 before
Exactly.
the number 10.
That's why I said if combined
He was like a
11, if
number-
you had a striker, I would have Drogba in there.
Swap Kante for Bergkamp, and we'll call it there.
So Kante for Berg. Also, we're saying
4-4-2.
I was
No,
saying
no, no, no.
Berg-
Oh,
4-3.
okay.
Bergkamp as a 10.
Yeah.
Would you take that?
I would take that.
Yeah, it's probably more.
There's 11.
There's one before we go. Manager, Arsene Wenger.
Jose Mourinho.
Arsene Wenger. I love Jose, but it has to be Arsene Wenger.
I love Jose.
Wenger
But
changed
I'm
football.
I'm not against Wenger either.
Yeah.
Just because he was
Okay,
like,
you know what? Look,
he
I
was
love Arsene Wenger.
pioneer.
I'm going Jose. I'm sticking with
But
Jose.
Jose is just like legend. You know,
if you said to me just best managers of all time, I would have Jose above Arsene.
Thank you very much.
But I
Like,
think what Arsene actually done for football, people don't
Not
realize
football, your
that.
club.
playing
Your club.
football wise, he's better than Jose.
What he brought
Better.
to the Premier League as well, in terms of what he's changed in the style of how teams. Now you see the dietary thing, and you see all of this. Wenger brought that. What are you laughing at? What are you laughing at? Go do some research. If you actually go do
fuck
your
the diet.
research.
I'm already
Go do your
wait,
research.
wait.
Go do your research. What are you laughing at? No. All jokes aside. All jokes aside.
Now,
are you laughing at?
what he's
If
trying
you-
to say is Wenger came in and he did this thing like,
Yeah.
boys, stop drinking beers.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
start
yeah.
playing
Not
some
even that.
good
He started
football.
maintaining their dietary. He started maintaining their dietary programs. He started looking into their training, the
doing
way
the
he played
1%.
football.
He was doing
He's
the
done
1%.
everything.
Look-
Your club is, like we said, you've got no history. You wouldn't know shit about history. You wouldn't know shit about doing research because everything that's happened has happened right in front of you in the
I've got
last
fucking
20
2
years.
degrees, mate. Relax yourself.
Hey, look, Wenger came in as the first manager that started playing a stylistic player
Yeah,
football
yeah,
at the end of the day.
yeah.
But Jose Mourinho, we're
Well,
talking
Jose-
about
Jose's a
a
legend.
one game management
100%.
manager. There isn't a better
Stav,
manager.
We'll end it on this. To win you a final, who would you take?
Jose Mourinho,
Jose Mourinho.
he's the best. He's the
Yeah,
best
of
tournament-based
course.
manager.
I
ever.
agree. I agree. And
Ever.
I've always said that Jose Mourinho is probably my favorite manager of all time. Personality,
I'll go when
football.
you talk about dietary.
But he's so washed as well, by the way.
He's
All
done,
these people saying like, bro, bring back to United.
Nah,
Like,
he's
the
washed.
post-match interviews would be awesome.
Yeah, but he's
fuck.
washed.
Did you see
He's
his
definitely
slide the
washed.
other day?
Did you see?
I saw him. I saw it. No,
Yeah,
I
he
didn't see
remixed
that.
Half a knee slide. He slid and then he stuck into the ground and he went push.
Oh my.
He's iconic. But yeah, best manager of all time. He could be top 3, really.
He is, man. No, he is.
Yeah.
Now, boys, honestly, what a pleasure. What an
Thanks
absolute
for having
pleasure.
us.
Thank
That's
you so
good.
much.
We'll have to come back.
Thank you.
And
soon.
Absolutely.
And thanks to the yesterday's studios as well. I'll say, mate, it's amazing. It's looking good. I mean, look, Bella Vista's all right, but this is like something
this
else.
is
I'll give him that. But yeah, Olan, man, thanks for coming on.
thanks for
Stav,
having me.
mate, it was a pleasure.
Thank you, boys.
It was a pleasure.
Enjoyed it. Goodness.
Enjoyed
much.
it. Enjoyed
We have been
it.
United by Football. I've been Thomas,
I've been Abs.
joined by 2 special guests.
Tekkers.
See ya. Next Stav.
Ciao, ciao.
Perfect. Beautiful. Thanks, boys.
Wow, that was good.
Appreciate it.
Good debates, man. Really good debates. I need to. Yeah.
We'll just do 3 photos, bro. Is that all right?
Okay, yeah, I need to run.
Yeah, bro. Just quickly do 3 photos. Do you want to go and meet Olan first or all together?
We'll do the full. I'll get a couple.
4 and then 2.
I'll just do it the individuals.
Okay.